finally back. It's been a while, and it has been difficult for me to show up in this way. It has been difficult for me to show up in this way because I was in the in between, not really knowing how to become this new version of myself that I have in my mind, that I'm envisioning, and also so much doubt and so many question marks that kept me from believing that I would even be ready to become this new version, to would even be good enough, deserving enough. And even though this video is meant to be exactly about that, it was so difficult for me to just sit down and record it. But we're here now. We made it. And I'm super excited to finally break this pattern of feeling like I'm not ready. No one's going to want to listen to what I have to say or whatever else it is that kept me from showing up. I have been thinking a lot about visibility and the blocks around this and what has kept me personally from showing up, what has kept me personally from just allowing myself to express myself. I'm a Leo after all. This is what I'm meant to be doing. But there was so much resistance, and sometimes I wasn't even able to name what the resistance was about and where it was coming from. I would say that I definitely also had a bit of a depression, or depressive phase at least, where it was even, difficult for me to get out of bed. Not necessarily in the way that you might think right now. I was able to get out of bed and to a certain extent even do my morning routine. Walk my dog, eat some watermelon. This is how I break my fast in the morning after I had my tea. And sometimes even working out. But then it stopped right there. There was nothing left within me that would allow me to work on my stuff, create content, write, show up in different ways. So I returned back to bed and I was Netflixing and I was watching way too many series that were good, but they didn't really give me anything but help me to suppress the emotions that I was avoiding that would have been the gateway for me to understand what it is that is blocking me. So with that being said, we're here now and we want to talk about what can be done in these phases, because me personally, I don't know about you, let me know in the comments, but me personally, I have been in this in-between phase. It's so many times in my life before. It was not the first time right now. But it feels like to me that when you get closer to what it is that you want to embody, really what your soul wants to embody, what your soul is here to create, what your soul is here to be, the resistance is more difficult to break. Because the ego feels that it requires growth and it requires discomfort and it requires breaking patterns, and that's not really what the ego wants to experience, because the ego is like, oh, let me stay exactly where I'm at because this is familiar and this is what makes me feel comfortable. So even though it wasn't always possible for me to name what it exactly was, the feeling of resistance, like, am I afraid of being seen? Am I afraid of failure? Or am I afraid of success? Or am I afraid to be judged? Or am I afraid of the responsibility? And at the end of the day, it was probably all of the above. But I'm sure there were moments and days where it was one of these things and I was just not able to name it because I didn't allow myself to feel the feelings that would have been the gateway for me to understand what it is that is blocking me. So at the end of the day, just like everything else, and this is really interesting because it's circling back to the work that I have been doing up until now with my clients, it always comes back to nervous system regulation. It always comes back to regulating your nervous system enough to be able to feel the feelings that are uncomfortable without crashing out, without falling into the void, into a hole, into depression, or whatever it is that is happening to you when you are overwhelmed with the emotions that are flooding you. And it's interesting because I have been feeling that I don't want to do that work to that extent anymore because, quite frankly, it's exhausting. It is exhausting to continuously hold space for people, to continuously show up for people that are stuck in their own ways and in their patterns. And even though I love it for the sake of helping them and eventually see them break these patterns and come out on the other side and grow and create what they came here to create, is always worthwhile when I get to that point. But also sometimes people are not meant to get to that point yet because there are still lessons that they have to learn. And I'm coming in trying to help them, but it's not their time yet to get out on the other side because there are lessons that they're only able to learn through life circumstances and not through someone like me holding space. Or sometimes it's also them just not showing up for themselves. They just can't get themselves to do it. And I know how that feels like because I'm just coming out of that space. Even though there are still other ways of me where I was able to show up for myself, where I was able to walk my dog and get a workout in and eat clean and I don't know, at least show up on my Instagram story, even though I was not able to sit down and, create a video like this because that needs more effort. It feels more professional. It feels more like more work too, because I'm probably going to go into this video to edit it as well. I'm going to need to find a way to promote it. I'm going to need to find a way to put it out there. I'm going to need to find a way to get over the emotions that are going to be attached to that video, because there might be moments where I look at that video and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, or I should have said that differently, or my hair looks weird, or whatever the fuck it may be. So there is more physical labor attached to doing a video like this, and emotional labor too, of like getting over these emotions. And while I'm saying this right now, I'm thinking maybe I'm just going to let it be the way it is and not edit it at all and just let it be raw like it is. Because maybe that's just also what I need to get myself to do, to be perceived in the imperfections and not cutting out the moments where I'm lost for words or something looks weird or whatever it is, which also makes me think right now that I'm not a native speaker, right? I'm from Germany. I went to a bilingual school and I worked with mainly English-speaking musicians when I was an artist manager, and also all of my clients, most of my clients in the coaching work that I have been doing are from the US. So, and then I live in Bali, like I talk English every single day, I dream in English, I consume everything in English. But still there are some moments where, I don't know, I listened back to a voice note just earlier where I was like, oh, that wasn't the right tense of what I said there, like, or I'm missing a word, and then I listen back to it and I'm like, oh, you know the word, where was it? Why weren't you able to find it in your brain or whatever? So there are so many other things also that I'm still dealing with and trying to get over, and most of the times I'm okay with these mistakes and faults. And on other days it feels different. It's probably also like when I'm closer to my period, I feel more sensitive, and then I'm like, ugh, or I don't like how I look like, or I'm bloated, or whatever it may be. So it's always something else. And I think what I'm trying to say here is trying to get over being perceived, because you will be perceived anyways at all times by people. You don't even have to make a video to be perceived. You're going to be perceived when you just walk down the street, or at a supermarket doing your grocery shopping, or going out and dancing and people are watching you, and you will never really know what it is that they are thinking about when they perceive you. But 9 out of 10 times, if you notice that they do, you're probably going to think it's something negative. And I want to consciously, with awareness and compassion, work myself out of thinking these things. And I have progressed immensely in that. I had so much more anxiety around these things when I was younger, and now, being 37, I'm at a point where I'm just like, I don't fucking care what you think about me. But as soon as there's a camera in your face, and it's official, and this is going to be on the web forever, even if I delete it, someone might have screen recorded it or whatever, it feels a little different. Even though I'm also at a point where I'm okay with that now too, but it hasn't always been that way. So with all of that, what I'm trying to say is I'm getting to a point where I realize that this is just part of what I'm meant to be doing. I'm a Leo. I'm meant to be expressing myself. I am meant to be, therefore, meant to be perceived, and I need to be okay with that. There's so many more things that I want to do. I'm writing again. My Substack is linked below. I talk a lot about dating and how I experienced that as a person with psychic abilities, and just in general life experiences. So if you're interested, it's linked below. Also writing on a different project that I don't feel like I'm at a point yet to really talk about much. And all of that, I feel like, requires me to work even more on the fear of being perceived, the fear of being seen. And I want to help people along the way doing that by just sharing what I'm going through when I do this, and create new offerings around that. I want to get away from being stuck in coaching when it comes to just healing trauma, healing the inner child, healing the inner teenager, feeling all of these things, but like having a goal attached to doing that work. So helping people to get over their visibility block, their visibility fears, the fears of being seen and perceived, while I do the same on a different level, on a different scale than I have been doing up until now. I just remember now, the very first time I had my phone in my face and I was talking into the camera and posting it on Instagram was back when I was living in Berlin. And how weird that was. And now it's so natural. Whereas the setup right now, I don't see myself. Like, I have my phone there, but it is from the back camera, quality reasons, and I can't see myself. So I can't, it has good and bad points to that, because I can't check myself too much of, like, you know, the way I look like talking or the way I express myself, which is a good thing, but also it gives me anxiety because I'm like, am I in frame? Am I sitting correctly, even though I tested it before? So that is like a new level of me being like, oh, and it feels a little bit more professional also with the microphone and everything. So it's just like, am I ready for this? Which is stupid, because why would I not? I can still decide to not post this video too, you know, which I don't want to do, but like, there's nothing lost here. by me just talking to the camera. And if I don't like it, I don't have to upload it. You're never going to see it. Or you will, because I will upload it regardless. But you know what I mean? So it's interesting to like go through all of these emotions and feelings that are coming up while doing this. And with that being said, I'm working on a visibility challenge that I am launching very soon, where it's going to be 3 weeks, where whoever's wants to join is required to try to post every day, sharing what they want to share. If it is a business that you're trying to build, if you already have a business and it's a new offer that you're trying to put out there, if it's just your journey that you're documenting and you want to share it, even if you don't know what you want to share, you can start off just sharing that you're doing this visibility challenge, to just challenge yourself to show up. It can be every medium, if it is video, if it is pictures and writing, if it is just writing, whatever social media platform you want to use. But I feel like that humanity in general is being called more to authentic self-expression, and that is what I want to build more into and help people to do, because everyone has to say something. Everyone has experienced something that is worth sharing, because it will be relatable to someone else, which will help them on their journey. So that is going to be the scope of the journey, but we're also going to meet up on Zoom 4 times in these 3 weeks, once a week, and then at the end of the journey, again, to tie it all together, you will get a hypnotherapy recording that is helping you to tackle that visibility block that you figured out by doing my visibility block quiz, which is linked down below. If you already want to get a head start into this, you can do the test, the quiz. The link is below. It's for free. And then you know your block, and then you know that that is what we would work on in the challenge together if you want to join. So stay tuned. We're going to get into this, and I'm very excited. I'm overthinking again, because initially this video was supposed to be about the in-between phase and how you feel and how it is uncomfortable, and now it became this. But like, I'm trusting what happened, and that's the video now. Maybe I'll do another video where I talk more about the in-between phase. I'm now starting to get eaten up by the mosquitoes, so I'm going to end it right here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Please let me know in the comments how long you have been following me, and if you like where this journey is headed, because this is a total different video format than what I have been doing up until now. I will love to hear your feedback, and also share the result of your visibility block quiz in the comments. I would love to know which one it is for you, and I see you soon.